Yeah, so...
What is the matchup? So, historically speaking, based on Jenkins' perception of how Feast was working today, but in fact was months or years ago at this point, Lifestealer was terrible against Sven. Has that changed at all?
I would say Sven is perfectly fine against Lifestealer.
Armor hero, right?
Well, what about the other way
Like
around?
physical
Lifestealer
guy.
versus Sven.
Oh, you're saying it's bad for Lifestealer.
It used to be horrible for Lifestealer. Is it any better as a result of the changes?
I think in the past you didn't have like an MKB option. Like you'd only be able to go like the Deso Armlet build to do physical.
And then
So
Sven had
now
armor.
you
Sven had
yeah,
armor.
and then you just have a ton of armor.
Yeah.
So like in this case, I think I would be reluctant to pick Sven just because I think Nick's AA supports are pretty good against Sven.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking out loud, but I personally think like like a more mobile IO partner would be better. I'm not 100% sure what that is. It's always so hard to envision with the... But this is a support Mars or
This
mid-Mars?
is, I was going to say, this is one thing that Quincy Crew does extremely well. I think Quincy Crew and Zoomers do this extremely well in NASA, where you look at their draft and you have almost no idea what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can imagine ways that they could run it, but we don't know if this is, like, a Beast 4. We don't know what role Io is going to be in. It could be Core. It could be... Well, not Yawar playing it. Let's be real.
I think
Yawar
you
is
just pick a mobile hero at this point. I'm pretty sure you just go Ember. Oh, Ember's banned. What the hell?
for who?
For Thunder Predator.
Right, and you can predict that because the heroes that they picked right now are fairly obvious what they're going to do, right? You can see the playstyle. You're going to infest the Nyx. You're going to run into the jungle A, blast you, blow somebody up.
I think you just have to pick a very general hero. I would actually be upset if they picked their offlaner. I think that's a mistake for them to pick their offlaner.
We like Ember or Void Spirit, but they're banned.
There's the
and
offlane.
there
The
it is.
offlane. Well,
I will tell you right now.
Beastmaster counter. Like,
Okay, I'm going to ask you, Jenkins. A lot of people think of like offlane to carry matchups, right? And a lot of people talk about carry to carry matchups. I feel like a very under talked about subject is offlane to offlane matchups. So my question for you, on paper, how does Mars to Legion sound to you? I know they have a Beastmaster, but how does Mars Legion sound to you?
I don't think.
Have you ever played that
Yeah,
matchup?
Mars doesn't give a shit about Legion.
Mars shits on Legion's entire
Yeah,
game.
she jumps in, initiates, and you immediately
You can't
arena.
go on the Mars.
We can't go on the Mars.
You
'cause he has
can't go
Bulwark.
on Mars because he has Bulwark.
Yeah.
And then if you duel somebody else, the Mars arena's on top of you and spears you into it,
But-
and nobody can help you.
But with that being said, when you talk about offlane to offlane matchup, what I immediately think about is like, okay, I think the offlaner, and I've heard you say this, I think the offlaner has a lot of control over the game between like 7 to like 25 minutes. The offlaner is the person that's running around getting shit done, making stuff
Yeah.
happen. Like the second, the
But you
first
still control team fights and stuff later.
So the one
true,
thing
true.
that...
But if you're sorry.
No, go ahead.
If your offlaner to offlaner matchup wins, like if they think the tempo controlling guy is going to be the Beastmaster and they have this Legion commander to completely stop that, and then you better late game, you can just stall the game. Right?
All
But then
I know
the
is
Mars makes it work.
I've just played both sides of this. I play a lot of Mars and I play a lot of Legion. And even if it's not necessarily an offlane Mars, it just feels so hard to play Legion. Because you don't want to go on Mars and you don't want to go on anyone else. And now they what happens is what I'm saying is the reason why I'm emphasizing so much this one matchup is because they don't see the carry yet. So they're probably going to pick a carry that's hard to duel. In this case,
Yeah,
you're
you
only
definitely don't wanna duel
damaged
her.
through. Like, yeah, they have the Nyx break. It's like cool, but this this is why I thought they might pick like a more mobile carry. I thought like they don't really have clear setup for the Ancient Apparition yet. Like, yes, they have the Legion duel, but if you pick a carry that's hard to duel, then it's not so clear.
Huh.
What about the aspect of them having a save now? Because they have a hard dispel for Roar, for any spears.
It's like
I'm not saying it's great,
Well,
but that
what-
is one benefit
that's
of
like
having
the main
Legion
reason
now.
I feel like they pick Legion.
You
My-
don't think that's the main reason?
No, I do think that's the main reason.
Yeah, I think that's literally the only reason.
I agree. I agree. I mean, it's also clear
if
for
you're
the Suns.
fourth picking Legion for her W, I think it's really bad. Unless it's like
I mean,
battle
we
royale.
talked about this earlier. Legion Commander
Yeah.
being awkward.
Yeah,
So I don't disagree.
I think if you're gonna fourth pick her, her W either has to be amazing or her duel is also pretty good.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like if you think that the entirety of the game is gonna be played around these dispellable abilities, then it's really good. And they didn't see the carry, so they don't know entirely. But when you have Beast Mars, those are probably gonna be cores, right?
Yeah.
So, and I feel like it's you have the dispel is good against both of those heroes.
I mean, the spear dispel's not that great, actually.
It's not that great.
Because, okay, if he's spear to a tree, it's fantastic. But if they're spear to the arena, it's not actually that great. Because they're still stuck in the arena. and they're still taking the damage from the arena.
I'm honestly surprised they picked PA here. I feel like Legion Blade Mail duel kills PA. They have break on Nyx, and then Nakes is we talked about like one of the best Monkey King.
I'm
but
telling
then-
you, this is a sick PA game.
Well, PA
I'm
just
actually
needs a
telling you.
BKB, and then Blade Mail doesn't do anything, right?
Have you played this PA Nakes matchup? I feel like it's pretty hard.
PA shits on Nyx.
I don't know what this new Nakes.
Absolutely shits
I
on
don't know,
Nyx.
dude.
It used to be better for PA, meaning like the PA matchup used to be like 90-10 for PA. Now it's like 70-30 for
Okay.
PA. Because the MKB build on Lifestealer has become more reasonable.
I think MKB, the fact that Lifestealer has an evasion talent and goes for Halberd, and PA doesn't like to build other than Rapier.
Dude, I already talked about it.
First
Halberd's
strike?
trash versus PA. You've already hit them 4 times before they can even Halberd you.
It's still evasion, right? It's still evasion.
But
on
the
a-
thing about the reason why I said for a more mobile carry, you don't want like some frontline man up like gyro type, because those heroes just get hit by a blast and die. You want heroes that just jump out of nowhere, even though they're going to be buffed by IO still. You want them to
So-
jump out of nowhere and burst down these AAs.
Position 4 Beast.
or Mars.
I guess position 4 Mars seems more likely to me, simply because I don't think Beast would function as well as a support. And the Legion counters the Beast.
And Thunder Predator only has a few seconds now to get their last pick.
Holy shit, they do.
Puck.
I like the Puck pick. I will
I'm-
say I like that a lot. I like the Puck pick.
I am hugely in favor of Thunder Predator's draft. I feel like Quincy Crew picked into a bunch of new age counters.
After all that talk,
Yes.
Thunder Predator, that's your pick.
I think Thunder Predator has the better
Okay,
draft.
VSJ.
I got my gut feeling. I think you can't pick Legion into Mars.
Okay. Well, with that said, we'll take a quick break and into game 1. Stay tuned.
Hello, everyone. Bienvenidos. Welcome. We have the Monster Energy Dota Summit 13 online. Quincy Crew, Kings of North America and South America. They have been winning everything here in the Americas, facing off with Thunder Predator, who are one of the top SA teams. But unfortunately, things have been shucking up a little bit. We had a little bit of drama. They no longer have Frank any longer. Frank, of course, being their offlaner. I heard there was a little bit of static going on between some of these players. So we have Sacred standing in, not a full-fledged member of the team. But I'm joined with a lizZard. lizZard, I'm so excited to show you these teams. This is going to be so much fun because we have a support Mars, something that we don't typically see, especially, you know, in some of the other regions.
You're joined with a lizard, like not even lizard. You're joined with a lizard. All right.
I am joined
sure.
with the lizZard.
All right, sure, why not? Yeah, like you said, these drafts are looking, well, it's looking really spicy on Quincy Crew side, right? Like, as you just mentioned, there's this Mars support, which is going to be very interesting with the Wisp. It's kind of alleviated by the fact that you have Lalice on the Beastmaster. If you want to experiment something, if you want to have supports that can't do anything in the game, you better make sure that your offlaner can, right? And Beastmaster
Right.
is one of those that can push, that can catch people. So because of that, I think it might work out. But in reality, I really love Thunder Predator's draft. Like this is just your 101 dotes. You have your Nyx plus Lifestealer combo to strike on one side, Puck on the other. You have LC. All of this combos really well with the Legion, with the Ancient Apparition. You have the Puck versus Storm matchup, which is also pretty nice.
I know you and I were talking about this because I was looking at what Thunder Predator had going on, and that Quincy Crew had very minimal amounts of stuns. I was like, oh, a Storm could be so good for Thunder Predator. And then I saw them pick it up almost like a denial pick. And you were saying, you know, they have a Nyx assassin. They have like ways of dealing with the Storm Spirit. And to top it off, Leostyle Puck is insane. Like this is his best hero. I have seen this guy just style on people. No pun intended. But again, a Puck is not enough to carry an entire game, right?
He isn't, but he does have a Legion Commander, and he has a Lifestealer. That Legion Commander is able to get rid of the Roar as well, which is a big part of Quincy Crew's draft. Can get rid of Storm's disables too. So, yeah, Puck definitely cannot carry the game on his own, but he's your playmaker 101. And he did fall out of favor for some other names, such as Void Spirit, Ember Spirit, and Storm Spirit, which is this literally this meta and what everything is about. But I like Puck in this game.
I love Leostyle on Puck. So, like, it's one of those situations where you know, it might not be super popular. Of course, they banned out most of the spirits in the very beginning anyways, but I think this is a very good setup for him. It's going to be difficult for Quinn, I think, with, you know, Matthew on this Nyx Assassin, but we'll see. They're holding on to this right now. They still have an Impale. They'll turn back around just to slow down UR and MSS. SVG taking a lot of damage. Quinn also joining in the fight, though. They'll throw out a dagger here for Sacred back. And, of course, Sacred, a little bit of an unbloodied sort of player. He used to play over on Incubus. I believe it's a team out of Huancayo in Peru, but definitely nowhere near the level of Frank. And that's not meant to be, you know, something mean. It's just he doesn't have the experience. So I'm interested to see how this Legion Commander is going to perform, because obviously, you know, you wouldn't pick him up if you didn't think that he would be a fit. But at the same time, there's not a lot of good offlaners left in the pool. And all the best ones, I mean, look at Lelis here. I know there's going to be people in chat spamming easy for Leslao. They are, you know, getting picked up by American, like, NA teams now because they see, you know, these guys are good.
Yeah, they're just getting better and better. And that's something that I was expecting, to be honest, from these regions, from SA and actually SCA too. You're just expecting the regions to blow up because they have so much young talent. That's, well, because of the way things are in those countries, you know, they can't really always play, they can't practice as much as everyone else, but as they grow a little bit older, they become more self-sustaining, they can invest themselves completely into the games, and then you get your Lelises.
Well, I mean, Lelis is still playing out of Brazil right now, too, because of COVID. Everything, people are still playing at home. It doesn't matter if you're playing for an NA squad. Even Keizu playing on Cat Jammers is playing out of Germany.
Yeah, I know. I just mean that you can invest more time. You don't have to worry about life, right? It's same in the Balkans when we were starting. Once you become a bit older and you can start working, like, then you can really push into the game as well. So.
We did have a whole conversation too. We got lucky enough to have some interviews with them during group stage, and we asked, you know, how do you guys manage? Because I know that they don't have a sponsor, and it is lacking severe sponsorship, unfortunately. And I asked, you know, do you guys have to have jobs? They said, oh, absolutely not. Like, you cannot be a high-level player and still have a job. Like, you work for, you know, how many hours, and then you still have to play like so many more to stay on top of things. Crazy.
Once you start getting salaries, right, it really helps, especially when you're playing out of your own region, but for teams that aren't in your region and you're getting their salaries. You're in SA, but you're getting NA salary. That's where Dota becomes pretty much self-sustaining for these players.
But that's only like one like HFN I know plays over for Cat Jammers, but they're not sponsored. And Quincy Crew is not sponsored either. So they're all just floating, and you know, they're lucky enough that they have the situation. But top lane, they get the kill on the IO. A little bit of body blocks here onto Lelis, but they've already used up most of what they have in their kit to secure that first play.
I don't know, I just feel sad talking about this, you know, because it's been literally how I grew up, and there you go, another kill. It's like I feel their pain. I know how it is when you're without a sponsor and when you're struggling. But that's what Dota is about, I guess, for most of us. So those
Need you to sponsor an NA team for me, please. You know the pain. Come on, man. Give back to your community. Well, not your community, but give back to the less fortunate.
What's happening on these lanes? Let's go back into the game a little bit. Actually, on top lane, it's a bit surprising that MSS managed to, well, it's bad to say managed to die, but yeah, they managed to kill him because they don't have any disabled. Yeah. My ex-teammates would flame you, like, how do you even manage to die on this lane, right? Because they don't have any disables. It's not like they can catch you off guard, stun you, and then cold feet you or whatnot. He just got caught after using tether, so needs to be a bit careful about that. One good thing though is Matthew is on mid lane, right? And he's just spamming this mana burn. That's so damn annoying. And he can do that because Sacred right now is self-sustaining. Like he can just stay on this lane all alone because his support on the other side is SVG. Like, he doesn't care that there's a Mars against him.
Well, I think a big part of the way that Quincy plays is they rely pretty heavily on Quinn to have a great lane and just really start to accelerate. And if they don't have that going on, it's very difficult for UR to get what he needs as well, because he tends to be a little bit slower with farming. He's still doing very well with CS currently, even though the fact that they do have SVG on a Mars support, which is not super typical, but they did get a couple kills earlier on, so.
Yeah, their bottom lane is doing well. Yavar is doing well, and Quinn is doing a bit better than I expected. He's, well, dumpstering the puck a little bit. 30 CS versus 17. Some of them are obviously small creep camp, but
He's number one
still.
in NA, man.
Yeah,
This is
he's
what I
doing really
expect
well.
to see Quinn do.
Oh, Leostyle, there is a haste on him.
Yeah, he does. No 6 though just yet. He was trying to go and get the bounty rune. This is not looking great for Quinn though, because he is sitting at level 5. Will be able to go grab up the other bounty rune and deny him those bottle charges.
Has to be careful here on, even on puck he has to be careful, yeah, because if you look at Quinn, he does have that raindrop, and without level 6, there is no chance in hell Leostyle bursts him down. So it's good that he realized that. He just took the bounty rune and went back. That's the correct play. Just wait for your 6 and then pounce.
I'm interested to see who's going to be able to make the first moves though here coming out, because I do think that Storm, it takes a little bit longer to come online. Does like to farm a little bit more. He's fine.
Yeah. He dropped really, really low. He does have that stick. I'm just interested in how much work this Mars will be able to even do in the game.
Build would you like to see coming out from him? Because I'm not familiar. I mean, I think neither of us are really familiar coming out for like what items he's gonna do, you know.
I'm not sure. Like some Yules at some point would be great, but at this moment, I'd be happy to see him buy boots. Like he's running across the map.
Aspirations, right?
Running across the map with 310 movement speed while your carry is struggling against an LC. Well, he's not struggling, but still, I'm just painting this picture. It doesn't feel that great for SVG at the moment.
No, but I think he also expects that a little bit too with his position and what he's doing. They're hunting up top though, looking for Lelis. Going to be able to go take down the boar. What are we looking at here for this top lane? I feel like we paid attention to all the lanes except for really tops. We've got a level 5 over here on Lelis right now. Still kind of neck and neck. Move over into the mid lane. It's like Matthew's considering. I don't like Matthew on this hero. I understand why they picked it up, but I prefer to see him on these heroes that are a lot more slippery, that have a lot of mobility. His Ember Spirit is godlike. His Earth Spirit's very good too. A little sad to see him like this, but I think he can still do well.
Yeah. So far, what he has been doing is literally leeching the mana from Quinn on mid lane and also wasting his raindrops with mana burn and impale, but besides that, there isn't really a whole lot he can accomplish. This bottom lane, unless SVG is really out of position, isn't a kill for Nyx plus LC until LC is 6. Or maybe...
They're trying pretty hard, but they're looking for the impale. They don't quite have it. They'll just burn off Yoar's mana. Oh, in comes SVG, gets the spear. He has a fairy fire though, and they did hold on to the impale, so... Looks like he'll be able to walk away. Top lane too, they made moves on Lelis, and they actually canceled his TP during that time. Or rather, he canceled the TP because he wanted to go back in for a fight, so...
You know, when every time you play a pub, no matter what rank, it can be top 100, top 1000, like, rank 7k, 8k, you always get a couple of tryhards and a couple of clowns. This top lane looks completely tryhard. You have Beastmaster Wisp versus Nyx plus Ancient Apparition, right? Like your standard broken heroes of the meta. On the bottom lane, however, the supports are a bit funkier.
Hold that thought, lizZard. We got a little bit of a gank over here in the mid lane. They're going after Leostyle, and they had a little scuffle for that illusion rune, but looks like he's gonna be able to walk away here.
So the one problem that I see for Puck at the moment is the fact he has his level 6, even 7, and he has his ulti, but he doesn't really have a place to use it on. He went base, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him TPing down bottom to maybe try and attempt to kill Yavar together with LC. Because he needs to give some space to Nyx to get his level 6, and also Ancient Apparition needs that level 6 as soon as possible. We'll see, however. It looks like he's just running back down mid lane.
I wouldn't be surprised to see once Matthew gets a couple more levels. Obviously, he's leeching here in the mid lane while Puck's out. To see them do a little bit of a gank squad, but they, need to have the Legion come along too. In fact, Sacred making his way over here. Not sure if they're trying to make some moves or not, but...
These wards are really good on both sides. You see the Radiant ward scouting out Sacred, so because of that, this move isn't really possible. SVG just runs back. And one good thing is that they do have an AA that's almost 6. So if you give him this lane, you will have that extra damage that's necessary for them to take down pretty much anyone on the map.
All right, what do we have here? Oh, man. I know how much Sunsfan hates this. I want to know your opinions on this. The Faded Brooch.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to them. He hates the fact, like, he feels like it's way too good. Plus 200 mana, plus the 20 movement.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's extremely good.
Jump over onto Leo style. Not going to be able to quite land it. They use the Dream Core. They have multiple people here. There's going to be an Ice Blast being tossed in as well. We'll connect over here on the side onto Quinn. They do have a Centaur, but the Lifestealer Bomb. Looks like they'll turn their attention, though, back to SVG, and they go in for the duel. That's going to be their first victory. They did find the kill on Matthew during all of that, Quinn. Still running around in circles here. Does have a couple bottle charges. Looks like they're not going to be able to follow up beyond that, although he's going to try to make some moves over here to MNZ. Minos looks like he's going to be able to walk away. You are joining in the fight. Does toss out a dagger, but I think that engagement is over. I'm not sure how did AA die at the top? Oh, Lelis got the kill on AA. I guess he was focused too much on the mid lane to throw out the Ice Blast.
It happens. It happens. Don't blame him. Like when you're in AA, sometimes you
I'm not
get
blaming him.
way too focused to hit that ulti Ice Blast properly. And there's another one flying out. Where is it going though? Middle lane, top lane. Oh,
Matthew has the hunt on Quinn. The Ice Blast coming in hot. It's gonna connect, and that should be a very dead Quinn.
Yeah. This is really the strongest part of their lineup. They have this global potential with the AA plus Nyx Assassin. He didn't even need the Lifestealer there to get that kill. And because of that, Lifestealer is able to pressure bottom tower, which is falling. Now, on the other hand, there is Lelis, and on his own he can do just as much. This hero is just so good at taking objectives.
It's one of Lelis's best heroes as well, but like, as you said, he can just park himself in this lane, and because everybody else is rotating, right, they're trying to protect these mid towers and take these scuffles, he just has free reign of everything. In fact, you can see SVG is getting a little buff here from MSS. They're also, you know, being able to take over this jungle and really just profit off of this positioning as they make their way over to the mid tower. And they have the Roar available. They've got Necro Books online. They've got the Hawk scouting over on the corner.
This is your classic move. You take the tier 1 on the top lane, then you collapse on the mid lane with your offlaner, especially if you have your ulti off cooldown like he does at the moment. But you can see that Thunder Predator have read this movement. They know exactly what's happening. They put the sentry behind the tower to ward. Well, not to ward, but to kill all the hogs that are coming.
Oh yeah, they know that they're going to be using that Hawk to get them any sort of vision, so... Wouldn't be surprised to see them try to go for something like a smoke play, maybe try to flush them out of their jungle. And you can see already Matthew doing a little bit of scouting. They don't have a sentry over on the side. There's going to be the Mars ulti, though. They'll get the hold over onto Leostyle, but again, he's got that invis, the zip in coming out from Quinn. They're going to try to take down Leostyle. Can they do it fast? The Ice Blast on the back line. Leostyle will go down, but they go in for the duel on the back line, and they just don't have the damage. Lelis is going to be able to go get that victory. And not only that, teleport home with the help of the IO. Matthew left behind, has a Spike Carapace, is going to be able to walk away. And I'm not sure what Minos is doing. He's just kind of hanging out in the Centaur over here.
He was thinking that maybe he can come and help, but obviously everyone died by the time he was there, so there wasn't really anything to do. This is a little bit concerning for Thunder Predator because it's their draft that's supposed to be hunting and attacking all the time. Because if you look at Yavar, he's building a Battle Fury. This isn't your Dezo PA that's fighting constantly. This is your farming PA, and if you don't pressure her right now, things might go out of control very soon.
I mean, that's typically what ends up happening is that you are, you know, even if he has a fairly decent lane, he just kind of goes off here to the castle, he farms up, and then when he comes back out again, because people forget, he's very, very farmed.
People forget about the carry.
They forget. No, they do though. Like in a lot of these NASA matches, like occasionally you might see like 1 or 2 smokes, but part of that is the way that Quincy Crew plays the map. They're constantly putting pressure down. Oh, the double damage snapped up by Matthew. Sure, Quinn would have loved to have that. Looks like they're thinking about going in for the fight. They get the Dream Coil off. You can see Sacred. He wants to get this duel. They're trying to find it, and they manage to go get the kill onto Quinn. They don't get the duel off. They'll go in, try to take down SVG. And again, he's fairly tanky. I'm not sure if they have quite enough damage, but at the last second, there it is. There's a little bit more duel damage on Sacred. It's a dead Quinn, so have to be a little bit more careful in protecting you are right now.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they aren't collapsing on this tower a little bit faster. Sacred ran back into the river. But because of that, they might not even be able to take it. There's the fortification. Is anyone going to defend it? Let's see. Probably not. Storm can't really do it alone, and no one else is.
Martin's making his way over, though. They're thinking about SVG getting into position. Does not have the arena, though. And they don't have the greatest tower pushers, though, coming out from the side of Thunder Predator, so they get to hold on to their mid a little longer.
These small little movements, like LC not going straight towards the tier 1, but going down bottom rune and then coming back to tier 1. If it's something that OG does the best out of any team. They collapse onto the objective, like it's one player controlling all 5 heroes. They collapse on the same objective at the same moment.
It's a hive mind, the way that they
Yeah,
play.
like a
There's
hive
no
mind,
hesitation.
exactly.
And I love that, because that's how you have to play Dota. You have to trust each other and be in it 100%.
Yeah, and those seconds matter. That's why this tier 1 now lives. Queen got extra 5 seconds to TP back to come and defend, and suddenly you're again on the defensive on Thunder Predator.
Feels like they still want to go for this mid tower. They have the arena back up. You can see Lela's constantly making these rotations to the mid lane whenever they think that they might be going for it. But Matthew over here does have a little presence inside of him, and they're hoping maybe they can get a pick off SVG, putting his body forward just in case, you know, they try to go for a smoke gank. He's going to be the one who gets taken down. And again, you'd much rather have your support be the sacrifice to the gank here. Illusion Rune gets picked up by SVG. Zip forward, coming out over here on the side. Again, still have precious cargo here in Matthew. They'll go for the infest up, and they'll come right back out again. They get the arena up. The IO coming in hot. The mech is to be able to keep SVG alive a little bit longer. They have to be careful. Looks like Matthew might be left behind her. They turn back around with that impale, though. It's going to be a big ice blast coming in. Now Matthew forced to run away. Somehow this guy is still alive. SVG will fall. Quinn is silenced up. They go in for the duel. Do they have enough damage? Can they take him down fast? And Matthew goes right back in with the spike carapace, trying to do everything he can to get that help off. And they manage to get the victory.
Matthew with that Spike Carapace just won them the team fight. That was so good from him. Spike Carapace stunning, what, 3 heroes, then turns back, impales 2 of them, buys enough time for the puck to run in, use his Dream Coil, obviously Frost Blast to follow up. And it didn't even look like they had it all planned, it just looked like everything came together, right? Nyx Assassin got caught, he gets out and he baits them a little bit and sets everything up. Really well played.
They don't have duel up for another 8. He'll go for the word, but he doesn't realize there's so many other people here. Ice Blast will connect. Sacred trying to stay alive. It's not looking very good because they zip right on in here. They had the relocate. Lela's now forced to run away. The Spike Carapace buys them just a little bit more time, but they do have the Necrobooks on the back line. MJZ will fall. Matthew no longer has that Spike Carapace. When he wants this kill, the dagger coming in from UR will get him a double kill.
Sometimes it's better, like when you take a good engagement and you get a couple of these kills and you know that they have all their ultis. It's better to just run the hell out.
Yeah, I'm thinking they probably should have done that now, and I'm sure they think that too after they're gonna lose Roche for this. Unless Leo can make play.
They tried, but Lelis was in a really good spot. He was waiting for them with open hands.
Again, that is, you know, it was funny because I thought that Lelis was going down there, but immediately, you know, I forgot the fact they have an IO. They can relocate in. Quinn can, you know, zip on in using that ball lightning.
We were talking about the global potential on Dire, but like you said, there's the same one on Quincy crew.
He just picked up now by Quinn. He's died a couple times, which is actually unusual for Quinn. Usually it doesn't have, I say a lot of depths, but
yeah.
Seriously though, like when you watch Quincy crew, you know, there's a reason why these guys are the kings of the Americas. They play such nice Dota. And generally speaking, Quinn will get caught out maybe once, maybe twice, and then after that, it's just not an issue for him anymore. He adjusts, and then UR starts to come online. They do have good counters, though.
this game is hard for him, right? Like you said, good counters. You have the Nyx, you have the puck with the catch, you have even Legion Commander, so it's not that easy for him to stay alive constantly.
Sure. No shade, Quinn. The best thing about it, too, well, that thought SVG is going to get left behind here. No IO to save him this time, so they'll get a quick pick off. We'll try to flush them out of the jungle.
It's just a 5 Mars. No biggie. Nyx on top lane. He should scout out Yavar, no? He knew that he was there, he just didn't break, he didn't break his blur.
We're getting on the 20-minute mark, though. You can see everybody getting in position. They want these runes. Lilith approaching from the south side here. We'll walk right into Leo style. Goes. Manages to go grab the bounty rune, but they'll go on the back lines, and the Quinn still just ball lightning and gets the kill on Leo style. SVG goes and uses that arena. You are here, though. Look at the damage coming out from him as he takes down Matthew. Oof. Very costly bounty runes.
Very costly. I think for them, the best thing right now would be to include this lifestealer in their fights, because he does have a Monkey King bar completed. This is where you want him to shine. Use that invest into the Nyx Assassin and start hunting. The problem is, your power spike is also matched by the Aegis of Storm Spirit, so it's a bit problematic to decide where to fight.
Does feel a little weird. I feel like Leo hasn't really popped off as hard as he normally does with this particular hero. I would have liked to see him be a little bit more active. And again, like you said, you know, you've got that power spike with the lifestealer, right? He has the MKB. This is something that Minos sometimes does, though. He spends a little bit too much time farming and doesn't join the fights. However, with the Blink Dagger picked up on the Legion and the Blink Dagger picked up on the Puck, I think we're going to be seeing them get much more active. In fact, you can already see Matthew is hunting. I'm sure they'd like to go for Storm if they could possibly get it. In fact, Sacred making his way down there right now. If they could lock him down for long enough. But I'm
They
not
can
sure.
kill him. I think in that one duel, he does have a soul booster, but I think you can take him down, especially now with Matthew coming over. SVG.
Oh,
plants
they don't
that
the sentry, though.
Yep. So, why is it a little bit easier now for Quinn? It's because he has a Beastmaster. Who might
Oh, but they
die
go for the
top.
duel. I mean, you say they have a Beastmaster, but all of a sudden he is just absolutely murdered. They'll take down some of his zoo as well.
Dota is such a fantastic game. Like, you can watch this and you can think, okay, Lois is feeding, but there's so much going behind. It's a pleasure to watch it.
Jump for it from Quinn. He wants his kill over onto Leo Star, but he manages to get the waning ripped off. Ice Blast is going to get tossed in. They have no way of holding him into place, so as they zip right back in, MJZ is absolutely just melted here.
They do lose the Beastmaster on top lane, but they get an A. Not great, but
They get an
you
ice
can
cream
take
for
over.
their troubles.
You can take over the map because of that. But Lelis was on top lane because he knew that they were moving for Quinn on bot. Because he has Hawks in their jungle, and he's pressuring the tower. So he knows that they're around the bottom lane, smoked up, preparing something. It was also a very good read from Thunder Predator that they shouldn't force it onto the Storm Spirit, and that they should TP top and catch Beastmaster instead, using that same smoke that they went with towards Storm on bottom lane. There's just pretty good plays from both of these teams.
I feel like this Legion is really like kind of behind when you look at the items, right? She's got the Blink Dagger, the Phase, just have a couple of dual victories, but no Blade Mail just yet. Like, not even one component of it either.
He has
They're on the move,
1,000 gold, right? He could buy SVG.
And they grab him in time. They use the Dream Coil, SVG, plus the Veil, the jump in, and that's going to be a little bit more gold for this Legion Commander so she can get that Blade Mail. No dual victory this time, though. So, on the bright side of things, SVG, even though he does die, it's not added dual victory damage going towards this Legion, but it is getting her closer to more items. Making some moves over onto Minos here in the mid lane. You can see Lelis getting into position, does have the Roar available. Aegis gets reclaimed, though, during all this, and it feels like Quincy they're going to back off a little bit.
1,000 gold from Minos from his halberd completed. Blade Mail will be really strong on Sacred because from then on, he'll be able to jump the PA and duel her. Perhaps, no, he won't ever be able to take her down alone, I think, in this game because he's a little bit too far behind, but it helps. Yeah. Arcane Rune top. Puck should scout that out. Yep.
See a couple of these pings here. Let's start looking if he can get a pick off. Has that Aghanim Scepter queued up as well. Figures that this PA is going to be going for a BKB pretty soon. In fact, I believe that's the item that she just completed here. So they need a way of holding her in place so she can't just get the jump. But you also have to be careful of Quinn, too.
This
Quinn's
is
gone
smoke.
for the Bloodstone here. He's going for the BKB. And they're going to trail behind him. Daisy has to be careful. Minos going to show on the wave. They don't see anyone else, though, right now. Looks like they're going to try to make the zip.
Good rage.
And immediately, the rage. Good at pushing those buttons, that boy is. They have Matthew, though. Go, drop down the sentry. They might need a little bit more help here. There's Spike Carapace. They follow up with a very nice Dream Quest. They'll hold them into place. Followed up with the Impale. Ice Blast comes in hot. This is looking like a dead Quinn and a little bit more victory damage for them. SVG, Lelis buys them a little bit more time as you are jumping into the back line. Can they get the kill on SVG? It's not looking great here as you are. Again, with that BKB, he is just so hard to pin down. But again, Leo Styles going forward here. He's got the Waning Rift off. They turn around. They did it. They have the silence of Artem SS and he's already gone and used that teleport. So they can't TP out. Lelis now left behind. They do have the Infest Bomb. Do they have anything to hold him into place? They don't. He's going to be able to teleport out.
This combination of Nyx Assassin and Legion Commander is winning them the team fights. It's just so good. Like, your Legion Commander, look at the net worth. Like, he's so far behind. Look at Beast. He's 2-3k ahead of her, right? But it doesn't matter because all he has to do is press the attack. That's it. Press the attack, the Nyx Assassin, so that when they commit onto the Nyx Assassin, he can use Carapace. Impale is a luxury, but that Carapace just sets everything up in that fight. That's why they didn't lose convincingly in the last 2 minutes. So, really good combos from them. Top lane.
It's going to be hard for them to pin down this puck because he does have the Blink Dagger. Look at all of this mana that Quinn's expending during that, too. They still aren't managed. I was going to say, though, yeah, you know, you talk about that Carapace. The way that Matthew holds onto it, though, is actually, like, so butt-clenchingly, like, nerve-wracking. Because you watch as they went and they initiated on him with the arena. They started, you know, they dropped down the detection. They start hitting him. And he just waits so patiently. So that way, you know, they can get the most advantageous setup and get as many people as possible with that Spike Carapace. I thought that, like, I'm a huge Matthew fan. Like, anyone who watches my cast know that I speak very highly of this position 4 player.
I've noticed.
Because he's really just, he's improved so much from last year. I remember he was playing in IO one game. He had a really rough time of it. And when we were in the lobby for the next game, he actually was, like, really bummed. Oh, hold on to that thought. Minos bottom lane. There's 4 heroes here, and that's a dead Lifestealer. And most likely a dead Sacred, too. Though he'll try to go get the kill on the carry. No. Down goes Sacred. Leo Style is leaving. Doesn't want anything to do with this. And
So
that's an easy tower down here.
The problem with having this good combo of Nyx Assassin and Legion Commander is a question, really. What happens when they don't go on Nyx Assassin? What happens when they go on anyone else? And right now, Quincy crew can pick their targets. Nyx Assassin isn't really a big issue for them, not a big problem, if they manage to ignore him and not hit his spiked Carapace, right? So.
It looks like now the net worth. Oh, jump forward over onto Quinn. Looks like they should be able to go collect this kill. Nice Ice Blast coming in from MJZ. He's definitely going to die for this, though, as he jumps forward. Oh, no, looks like you are. He'll back off. He realizes, okay, we don't really want to dive too hard right now. Matthew's nearby as well.
I'll take that back. I'll take back the fact that you can ignore the Nyx. Just because you're playing with the Storm, like, that Storm is never going to have a good time versus Mana Burn. So you do have to deal with Matthew, at least a little bit.
All right, they go. They use the ultimate just to let them back off here. We do have the Aghanim Scepter now completed for Puck. So they have to be cognizant of that factor. But you
can
are
see the
a big boy. You can stand and fight at this point, lizZard.
Yeah, he definitely can, especially with the Wisp. Plus, he gets a really good neutral item. He gets Orb of Destruction. It's not as strong as before, but it's still pretty solid. And Yawar will be happy with it, I think, as a PA. It's fantastic. You have Dazzle, you have that slow plus 4 armor reduction from Orb of Destruction. You've smoked up, and you're ready to fight.
We've got a Lifestealer bomb inside a Sacred here, but they haven't managed to find anyone just yet. That is one problem, is that their vision coming out from the side of Dire is not super great. It's definitely a little bit more contained. So, a lot of pings coming out here.
Yep.
And they do
I don't
see them over here on the wave, so
I
they
would
have to have a
rather
general
have
idea.
I would rather have the lifestealer in Nyx, so that Sacred is able to not really initiate with his duel, but first press the attack, save someone, and then reinitiate. Perhaps this kind of makes him a one-shot pony. He initiates, he duels, and then he probably dies after.
Well,
Let's
he
see
gets Matthew
SVG.
at bait again. Carapace immediately buffing him back up. They jump out. This should be. Oh, but the Io coming in. He's gonna be able to keep him alive. Are they gonna be able to get the dual damage? Now they'll follow up. There's the roar followed up with the Dream Coil. They'll end up losing SVG, but they also end up losing Sacred as well. The BKB popped over here on Yawar. That's why Carapace is not gonna save you this time, Matthew. Jump forward. MJZ praying they don't see him, but by God they do, and that's a triple kill now for Yawar. Roche is back up. I have a feeling we'll be seeing them make their way over into the pit. And they take down the courier too.
They desperately needed that kill on Mars, but he's just so tanky, and then Wisp is healing him up as well with the mech with the sticks. That was super unfortunate because they did exactly what I said. Both of those things, I mean. They saved the Nyx with press the attack, and then they dueled as well. So they may make the best out of a bad situation, but it just didn't work for them because MSS, this Wisp is a god of a game right now. He's healing way too much.
a godlike player.
3-1, 0-1-12. Died once, saved 50 times.
A true support. He's the Wambulance. You know, Yawar's in trouble, Lelis is in trouble. All of a sudden, MSS just tethers up. He's got the mech, and he keeps him alive, and he's doing a great job of it. Oh my God, Yawar.
Yep, he did it.
It's time. He put on his big boy pants, and he says, "Let's do it." Yeah, look at this. The other casters are like, "Oh my God." Really?
Oh no. Oh,
Well,
this is the time to do
was
it.
a Sacred there.
Yeah, this is the time to do it. You have Aegis, right? And
And does he? No, he wasn't just one shot.
whoop,
But
there
you
go.
know, Quinn will clean up. All right, I'm not sure now how we've got Minos and a Cardi over here. I don't know if he can stand toe to toe with any of this.
I think he wants to stay in that Carti. That's it, right? His way back home. Yeah.
The Divine Rapier too. Well, I don't know what they can do here. You know, they don't have the blade mail online. The roar gets used. Minos. It's gonna be a Yule's. They'll set up, but the BKB coming out from Yawar is just gonna go zipping right on in, and they get a triple kill now over onto Yawar. The buyback though coming out. Sacred, he wants to get this kill. He's too much damage. He's gotta be able to go and get himself some of that dual victory. All of the buybacks are coming out. Thunder Predator, they're angry, lizZard. They don't want to allow this to happen. They want to punish them. They've gone too far. And the age is back up. They want this rapier, but
God.
from Yawar. Oh my God, sit down, Thunder Predator. The Kings are here.
That just escalated very, very quickly. That rapier. It was a good rapier pickup. Like, rapier more than ever before is a meta item. Like, you can actually buy this item without being host and trolling. You know, it works, especially when you get an Aegis on PA in a situation such as this one. It was very, very planned out, I think, by Yavar, and I can
So
totally
you think this
get
was
behind
calculated and it wasn't just
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna style
no.
on these nerds.
No. It wasn't about styling because it literally allows you to end the game. You have Aegis. There's no way they kill you twice, so why not?
Yeah, I mean, that was a very dominant victory there for the side of Quincy Crew. But you have to, you know, Thunder Predator put up a pretty decent fight for that. I've seen a lot of these games. I saw one game that was 15 minutes long where Quincy Crew just rolled them. But it's important to remember, gods can bleed, because I've also seen Eternal Envy stack take games off of Quincy Crew. But we are going to take a short break, guys. We're going to let our panel go and break that all down for you. I'm sure Sunsfan and Jenkins and BSJ have some very choice words about some of the things that happen. I just want to remind you, though, too, you can vote for the Monster MVP, especially after that game, seeing those plays. There are some people that definitely deserve some votes. So that is at bts.gg/Monster MVP. Make sure you go and you vote. But we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we'll have plenty more of the Monster Energy Dota Summit 13.